Aaron Rodgers is officially heading to Pittsburgh. After weeks of speculation, months of uncertainty, and what felt like years of anticipation, the future Hall of Fame quarterback has reportedly informed the Pittsburgh Steelers that he will be flying in on Friday to finalize a one-year contract and complete his physical before the start of mandatory minicamp. According to multiple NFL Network insiders, including Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, and Mike Garafolo, Rodgers has agreed to terms with the Steelers, pending standard medical clearance. The team later confirmed the agreement, ending one of the longest-running off-season stories in the NFL. For Rodgers, this move marks the beginning of a new chapter and quite possibly the final one in a legendary NFL career that spans 2 decades. At 41 years old, the 4-time NFL MVP still possesses the arm talent, experience, and leadership ability to make a significant impact, and he is stepping into a situation in Pittsburgh that is both demanding and potentially redemptive. After a disappointing season with the New York Jets, one marred by injuries, inconsistent play, and organizational chaos, Rodgers now has the opportunity to reboot with a franchise steeped in tradition, stability, and winning culture. Rodgers' decision did not come lightly. Known for taking his time with major life choices, the quarterback waited well beyond the conclusion of the 2025 NFL Draft to sort through his options and determine his next move. Many fans and analysts expected a quicker decision, especially considering how most marquee free agents had already signed with new teams, and most quarterback-needy franchises had filled their vacancies either through the draft or via trades. But Rodgers, ever the contrarian thinker, remained patient. And so did the Steelers. Pittsburgh's approach this offseason has been quietly strategic. While they flirted with other quarterback options, including a possible reunion with Mason Rudolph and a few exploratory discussions surrounding Kirk Cousins, it was clear from early on that Rodgers was their top target. General Manager Omar Khan and head coach Mike Tomlin appeared committed to the idea of acquiring a proven veteran signal caller who could immediately elevate the offense. They didn't reach in the draft, waiting until day 3 to select Ohio State's Will Howard with the 185th overall pick. That move was widely interpreted as a hedge, a developmental option rather than a direct solution to the team's quarterback dilemma. With Howard, Rudolph, and Skylar Thompson occupying the quarterback room, the need for a bona fide starter was glaringly obvious. The Steelers were clearly all in on Rodgers, and now the gamble appears to have paid off. Rodgers will enter minicamp as the unquestioned starter, and his presence immediately raises the ceiling for a team that already boasts a playoff-caliber roster. The signing comes at a fascinating time in the league landscape. Just weeks ago, Rodgers watched as former Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson signed with the New York Giants, another team rumored to be pursuing Rodgers. Meanwhile, the Jets, the team Rodgers was expected to lead to glory just a year ago, collapsed under the weight of high expectations, finishing the 2024 season with a disappointing 5-12 record. That collapse led to the firing of head coach Robert Saleh and general manager Joe Douglas, signaling a complete reset for the franchise Rodgers had hoped to rescue. Although Rodgers' 2024 season fell short of expectations, it wasn't without merit. He played through discomfort while returning from a significant Achilles injury and still managed to complete 63% of his passes for 3,897 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. More impressive was his performance over the final 10 games of the season, where he posted 2,234 passing yards, 18 touchdowns, and just 4 interceptions while completing 64% of his passes. These numbers, while not vintage Rodgers, still reflect a quarterback capable of delivering under the right circumstances. Pittsburgh believes they can offer him those circumstances. The franchise has long prided itself on defensive dominance, organizational stability, and a strong sense of identity. With T.J. Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Cam Hayward anchoring a top-tier defense, the Steelers are poised to remain competitive in the always volatile AFC North. What they've lacked since the departure of Ben Roethlisberger is a consistent and dynamic presence under center. Rodgers fills that void. One of the most intriguing subplots of Rodgers' move is his supporting cast. The Steelers have been busy retooling their offense, most notably by trading for Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf. The physical, explosive wideout gives Rodgers a legitimate WR1 who has never had fewer than 900 receiving yards in a season. Alongside Metcalf is tight end Pat Freiermuth, who led the team in receptions and receiving yards in 2024. While Freiermuth has battled injuries in the past, he's proven to be a reliable and sure-handed target, particularly in the red zone. The rest of the receiving core is less certain. George Pickens, the team's electric but sometimes inconsistent wideout, was traded to the Dallas Cowboys earlier this offseason. In his place, Pittsburgh will turn to a mix of veteran Robert Woods, young speedster Calvin Austin III, and third-round rookie Roman Wilson out of Michigan. The group may lack star power beyond Metcalf, but the hope is that Rodgers can bring out the best in these complementary pieces, just as he did for years with unheralded receivers in Green Bay. Rodgers' arrival also reunites him with an offensive system that should suit him well. New offensive coordinator Arthur Smith is known for crafting balanced, play-action-heavy offenses that cater to quarterbacks who operate efficiently from the pocket. While Smith's tenure as head coach in Atlanta ended on a sour note, he is still respected as a creative and adaptable play caller. For Rodgers, who has always excelled in systems that value timing, rhythm, and precision, the pairing could be mutually beneficial. The larger question now turns to chemistry, both with his teammates and his head coach. Mike Tomlin is one of the most respected figures in the NFL, known for his leadership, consistency, and ability to manage egos in a complex locker room. Rodgers, for his part, is known for being thoughtful, independent, and sometimes polarizing. How the two men coexist will be one of the most watched dynamics in the NFL this season. If they find alignment, it could be a powerful partnership. If not, tension could mount quickly. Rodgers' return to relevance may also come with poetic symmetry. The Steelers open the 2025 season against the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium, the very team and stadium where Rodgers' last season ended in disappointment. Just weeks later, Pittsburgh will host the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football in Week 8, bringing Rodgers face-to-face with the franchise where he built his legacy. Those two games alone promise emotional weight, media frenzy, and perhaps even closure. For the Steelers, the signing is not just about 2025, it's about sending a message. This is a team unwilling to sit idle while their competitors load up. With Joe Burrow returning to full health in Cincinnati, Lamar Jackson continuing to shine in Baltimore, and Deshaun Watson attempting a resurgence in Cleveland, the AFC North is stacked. Pittsburgh needed an answer at quarterback, not a project, not a placeholder, but a difference maker. In Rodgers, they believe they've found one. The contract, a one-year deal, gives both sides flexibility. For Rodgers, it's a prove-it year, a chance to remind the league that he's still elite and capable of winning big. For the Steelers, it's a calculated risk, one that could pay massive dividends or end in another year of transition. If things go well, a longer partnership isn't out of the question. If not, Pittsburgh still has young options in the wings and a chance to regroup next offseason. Regardless of the outcome, one thing is clear: the Steelers have pushed their chips to the center of the table. They are betting on greatness, on redemption, and on the belief that even at 41, Aaron Rodgers still has magic left in his arm. The storylines are endless. The pressure is immense. But for now, the Steel City is buzzing with hope, and Rodgers is finally on his way.